Hi, my name is Anna and I'm a TA at the Dare School Machine Shop. In this video, I will walk you through the basics of selecting the correct cutter and installing tools properly on our ShopBot 3 axis routers. Understanding the cutting tools, feed rates, and spindle speeds is an important part of the machining process. You want to select the correct bit for the job you're doing. This will affect the time it takes to cut your part and the quality of the finish. You also want to select the appropriate feed rate. This is the speed at which the tool moves across the surface of the part, and the appropriate RPM. This is the rotational speed of the tool. The most common tools we use at the ShopBot are square end mills, ball end mills, and V-groove tools. The first tool we are going to go over is a common square end mill. This tool is used for performing rough cuts to remove bulk material and cutting out profiles and pockets. Things to consider when selecting a square end mill are the tool diameter, number of cutting flutes, and overall length. With larger tool diameter, you can remove more material per pass, but this limits the amount of detail you can achieve. The next thing you should consider is the length of your tool. The longer a tool is, the deeper it can cut, but caution must be taken because longer tools flex more than shorter ones. If tools flex too much, the risk of breaking becomes greater. This is why we often try to select the shortest tool length while at the same time being able to cut the required depth. Cutters have flutes, which allow an area for the chips that are being produced to evacuate. We will discuss in detail later on why the number of flutes is important and the effect they cause when cutting. Ball nose end mills are typically used for 3D cutting. They provide smooth transitions when cutting three-dimensional shapes because they have a radius edge on them. Much like the square end mill, the larger the tool diameter of the ball nose, the more material it removes and vice versa. Additionally, we also have V-groove tools, which are V-shaped and are commonly used for engraving and producing very detailed signs. V-groove tools are used in VCarve Pro, which are already incorporated in the Aspire 8.5 software. We have 90 and 120 degree ones. The selection of these will depend on the type of project. Bits can be made from many types of materials. The most common are solid carbide, carbide tipped steel, and high-speed steel. We only use solid carbide and carbide tipped bits. We typically do not use high-speed steel bits because they dull quickly and must be resharpened. After selecting the correct tool, you can now install the tool. Before beginning the installation of the tool, remove any dust or chips that might have gone inside the collet or the collet nut. You can do this by tapping them onto the table or blowing into them. Then, you need to select the correct collet size for your tool. To make sure the collet size is the correct one, the contact between the tool and the collet has to be a smooth one. Any interruption with these could ruin the friction that holds the tool in place. The collet nut is an essential part that holds the tool and the collet onto the spindle. Snap the collet into the collet nut. Make sure to hear the snapping between the collet and the collet nut. Ensure that the collet rotates freely in the collet nut. Next, thread on the collet nut with the collet onto the spindle. It must turn freely by hand for at least 4 revolutions. Don't over-tighten it before inserting the tool. Insert the tool in the collet. The tool has to be a minimum of 3/4 of an inch inside the collet. In order to estimate this distance, you can pinch the tool with your fingertips, exposing the portion of the tool that will be gripped by the collet. When inserting the tool, stop once your fingertips touch the collet. After this, use the spindle wrench to immobilize the spindle and slide the bottom wrench up the collet nut. Then tighten it appropriately. Do not grip the wrench onto the side of the nut. This can damage the wrench and the nut. In order to remove the tool, do the same steps in reverse. Make sure that after the nut loosens, continue rotating the wrenches for 1 full revolution. This is because the collet is still seated in the spindle and must be broken free. Caution must be taken as the tool can fall out from the collet, so it is recommended to hold onto the tool while continuing to loosen the nut. Slide the tool out when it is free. Once the tool is removed by your hand, continue to loosen the collet nut until it is detached from the spindle. You will learn more about tool selection in the Aspire tutorials. Before cutting your parts, please ensure that you have taken all the necessary safety precautions. Make sure that the tool is appropriately tightened and the wrenches are removed from the work area. If you are unclear about any of the procedures, please ask an instructor or an authorized TA to assist you. Once you become an authorized user, please remember to clean your work area, exit off the ShopBot 3 software, turn off the machine, and log off the computer. Thank you for watching the ShopBot tooling video. Please remember to watch the following training videos, and if you need any assistance, ask for help from a trained TA or an instructor.